Hello everyone. Thank you for joining me on the first of these 5 Summer Learning for All math lessons. My name is Matt Johnson and I'm the coordinator for Math and Science. That means I get to work with all the math and science teachers in the district. During the Summer Learning for All math lessons, we're going to show you fun ways to practice math this summer. Let's get started. Take a look at this picture. What do you see? What mathematics can you see? Take a minute to think. What math is going on in this picture? How many pins is the bowling ball knocking down? Did you count 6? That means how many were left standing up? I count 4. How many total pins were standing up before the bowling ball knocked them down? If this was their first shot, they would have gotten 6 in their first shot. How many do they need to knock down in their second roll? That's right, 4, because 4 plus 6 equals 10. What about the number 1 there up at the top left? What do you think that means? I think it's the lane number. When you go bowling, the person behind the counter will give you a lane number, and that number helps you know where to go. What about those lights? It seems one is on and one is off. Why do you think that is? If you guessed one is on because it's their first shot, you were correct. What other math could you see in this picture? I see angles and forces and shapes. So there's a ton of math in this bowling picture. This is our Picture of Math Minute. Each lesson we're going to have a picture that we talk about and think about mathematics. What I'd like you to do is think about all the mathematics that's around you. So math is all around us, if you just look for it. In this week's at-home math task, I'm going to show you how to create your own bowling game. And then the math comes in however you want to take and keep score. Shall we get started? First off, find some things that you can knock down. I grabbed these toilet paper rolls, but you can use anything that'll tip over, like pop cans, or cups, or even other pieces of paper. Second, you want to find something that can knock down what you've set up. I'm just going to use a crumpled up piece of paper today. I've arranged the toilet paper rolls in a triangle, just like they have at the bowling alley, but you can set them up in any shape. Make it a square, or a circle, whichever way you'd like. but try to set them up the same way every time to make it fair. Once you set them up, you can take aim and see how many you've knocked down. I'm going to put them back into a triangle. My first shot, only one down. So, of the 10 I started with, I knocked one down, and here's where the math comes in. That's when you record your score. One way to mark your score is to use a 10 frame. Remember, a 10 frame is just a box that has 10 little boxes inside. And they're pretty easy to make. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then cut it in half. So now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 boxes. So we want to see how quickly we can get it filled in. In my first shot, I only knocked down one, so I'm only going to put in one dot for my first shot. Here goes shot number 2. I set them all back up so I have all 10 to aim at. That was better. So let's see, I only have 3 left standing up. And I know that I started with 10. So how can I count or use math to figure out how many I knocked down? One way is I could just go pick all of the cardboard tubes up and count them. Why don't I do that? Okay, so I've got all my tubes laid out and I have knocked down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That was a pretty good shot. So if I had started with 10, I knocked down 7 and 3 left. That makes sense because 7 plus 3 equals 10. Now let's add the 7 to our score. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I added 7 more to the 1. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we know there's 5 in the top row. And we can add 5 plus 1, 2, 3, or 5, 6, 7, 8 for 8 total. That means I have how many more to knock down to get to 10? That's right, 2. Let's see if I can do it in the next try. Okay, here goes. Another good shot. Notice I have 3 left again. So we should know from the last shot if we have 3 left and we started with 10, then 7 of our pins got knocked down. So let's add that to our score. All right, we knocked down 7 more pins or 7 more toilet paper rolls, which is going to help us fill up this 10 frame. So we have 1, 2 in the 10 frame, but we have extra. We have more to go to get to 7. So one thing you could do is make another 10 frame, and we can fill that one up. So we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So now we can total up in our 3 shots how many we knocked down. So we have 5 on each row, remember? So this way we can count by 5s. Count with me. 5, 10, 15. So in 3 shots, we knocked down 15 toilet paper rolls, or 15 of our pins. So you notice that this game, you bring in the math anytime you keep score. All right, for this game, we're only going to use 5 to start with, so that we have a much simpler number sentence. Let's take our first shot. All right, did you see that? Looks like 2 of them got knocked down because there's 3 left. Let's write that in a number sentence. So we knocked down 2. We know that there's 3 left. And 2 plus 3 equals what? That's right, 5. And that is the number we started with. But we can write it another way too. Let's take how many we started with, and that was 5. And let's use subtraction this time. We knocked down 2, so we're going to subtract 2 from that. And 5 minus 2 equals, that's right, 3. Do you notice anything similar about these two? Yeah, they're different ways to explain what our first shot was, and a different way to keep score. Let's try it one more time. Here we go. Damn it. That time we got them all. We're getting better. So how would we score that if we knock them all down? Well, we could say we had knocked 5 down and there were 0 left standing. So 5 plus 0 gives us a total of 5. We can also do it with subtraction. If we started out with 5 and we subtracted 5 because we knocked all 5 down, that gives us how many left? Well, 5 minus 5 gives us 0 left. And that's how many were left on the table. Now it's time for our Mathematical Mindset Minute. You'll find as you play these games, you're getting better and better. That's because your brain is growing and changing and getting used to the types of things you need to do to be successful. The same thing happens with mathematics. The more you practice counting, adding, subtracting, and doing other math activities, the better you're going to become because your brain is changing. That was our Mathematical Mindset Minute. Now let's try with 10 paper towel rolls. This is going to increase the number sentence and the numbers that we're working with. And you can add as many as you'd like. This time let's start with 10. That was a pretty good roll. Let's see, we have 3 left standing. Let's make a number sentence out of that. So we started by knocking down 7. Plus the 3 left standing, that gives us our total of 10. And to write it in a subtraction sentence, we can start with our 10. And let's subtract how many were left standing. So 3 were left standing. That means we knocked down how many? Of course, 7. Next, I'm going to show you how you can tally up your score. In this version of the game, it's very similar to the other ones, but you're totaling up your score and seeing after how many rounds who has the highest score. Let's try it out. Here's player 1's roll. 7. So you can set your scoreboard up like this, and now we're going to put the tallies. Each tally mark represents 1 pin. Here's how you can do it. 1, 2, 3, 4. And when you get to 5, instead of adding another 5, this helps you recognize when you have a group of 5. So you cross over all 4, and this represents 5. But we only have 5, and remember player 1 scored a 7. So we need to put 2 more tallies. Remember player 2 rolled a 6. So let's use the tallies to make a 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1 more makes 6. So now it's 7 to 6. And this is an interesting way to represent our numbers. Let's go round 2. We only got 1 that time. Here's player 2. Okay, let's add our tallies for their second shot. Player 1 only knocked down 1 pin, so we're only going to add 1 more tally. Player 2 knocked down 5 pins, so let's add 5 to that. 1, 2, 3. So you have a 4. I'm going to make a 4th over here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So now player 2 has 5, 10, 11 total. And player 1 has 5, 6, 7, 8. That's an easy way to help keep score, especially when you're adding numbers over and over again. Let's see how they do. Okay, after 5 rounds, we've tallied all our scores, and now it's time to see who won. Let's total up player 1's. And we're going to count by 5s because we have groups of 5 here. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 21, 22, 23. Let's put that down on the bottom so we remember. All right, now let's count up player 2. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. And it looks like we have a winner, player 2. So in this demonstration, we showed you some fun ways that you can use stuff that you find around your house to play some fun math games and to practice your mathematics. Because remember, when you practice math, you're going to get better and better at it. So your assignment this week is to find a way or a game that you keep score and take a picture or have a parent take a picture of that score and send it to the email address you find at the end of this video. And the first 20 that submit their scores to that email address, we're going to send you a fun math game. Hope you enjoyed this show. We'll see you next time.